Good morning. I'm coming to you from my porch, so you'll hear the birds in the background. So I did finish my cover this morning and then was going to go on to some inner pages today. So you need to think about timing for this project as well. So I'm presenting this as part of the spring semester. So for my students, you would just count how many weeks there are left of school, and each week you would either show a cover or you would show a page spread on the inside of the book. Now, if you want to continue this project through the summer to document your experiences, then you'll want fewer pages kind of bunched together. So let's take a number like 10. So most of my students have 8 or 10 weeks left. So you can kind of divide this up into 8 or 10 sections to kind of get through the semester, and then you're kind of done. However, if you want to continue doing this on your own because you find it, a great way to do something once a week, you may want to have smaller sections of pages so that you can fit more in the book. The other option, of course, is to have book 1, book 2, book 3, and however many books you need to go through the process. So I did my cover. I turned them into little cartoony guys because we didn't take it seriously in the beginning. I'm going to write a 19 on here, COVID-19, and then I use my blog name, Art Ed Guru, for my back of the book. I know I have a lot of teachers kind of following me and some students, so hopefully at the end of this, when it's all better, we can maybe do an exhibition of our work, maybe virtually, internationally. So there's a lot of ways to kind of make a chunk of pages. So I have a special stapler. Any stapler will do. You could go through and put little drops of glue in between. That's another way to kind of join a chunk of pages. The idea of making a chunk is that you have a little bit thicker to kind of work with. It's almost like a canvas or something. You could also take some yarn and put holes in it and then go ahead and sew through that. I have some silver tape left over from a project in my attic, so I could pull that off and put it over the corners and the edges. Duct tape will work, regular tape will work. You could paint in between the pages because paint will stick like glue. So use what you have available. Now when the pages bend, paper mache is probably not a good choice on the inside because paper mache can get very brittle. And as you work, your book will start to warp. You can see mine already has, and that's okay. These are supposed to be sculptural items. It's not supposed to be like a regular book. And with the cover like this, you can't really even open it all the way, so don't worry too much about it. So for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna use my stapler, and I'm gonna go ahead and just staple through a section of pages. And I could sew it. There's lots of different ways to kind of do it, but I want to make a section. So I'm going to go ahead and staple around. The other side. And then I'm going to get a little chunk on this side as well. Now, if your teacher is sharing this video with you, they will have their own requirements for how much you need to get done in a week or a month or whatever it is. For my students, my expectation is this is what takes a week, all right? So it's not just one page, because that can be done pretty quick. It's a 2-page spread. So your artwork is not really like, one on the right, one on the left, though it could. What we're kind of doing is a 2-page spread so that this is the artwork. This could be the next section of artwork. As I think about it later on, I might put some ribbon over top of this. I'm not sure. I kind of like that the staples look like stitches, so maybe that will work for what I'm doing. So what I decided to focus on for my first theme was kind of the initial feelings. What are people doing? So they're panicking over toilet paper. So I just wrote stuff with highlighter markers, not even art markers, just highlighters. Am I okay? N95 masks, isolation, quarantine, pandemic, Am I okay? I have a cough. And actually I have some really bad allergies right now, and I've been coughing a lot, and I keep thinking, oh my gosh, is that it? Respirators, fever, cough, breathless, vaccine, how long, fake news, OMG, panic. Okay, so people are buying toilet paper like crazy, and we don't really understand why. Now I'm going to use glue. I could use tape, paint. If I was going to use paint, I'd use white paint because I don't want to discolor the toilet paper. But for now, I'm just going to use this glue because it happens to be on my table. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in, and I want them to actually stick outside of the book. Just put in a couple little drops, don't need a lot. And this is another point, that you don't have to have the artwork stay within the boundaries of the book. It can go outside of it. So I'm going outside the edges. Okay, so this is just first impressions. You see, this doesn't take very long to do, and I'm layering it on there. And my idea is that maybe if somebody's looking at the book, they can kind of page through and see the different words underneath. So I'm going to cover some up, and we'll be able to see them as people kind of investigate the book a little bit more. So like here, I'm covering over the OMG, but I'm only going to glue it on this side so that people can still turn and see underneath the tissue. They can kind of peek underneath and see what else is there. Let's get another longish one here. Put that there. Quarantine. Pandemic. Oh, a little drip there, so I'm just going to put something here. Again, this glue gets a little drippy, so I have my table covered with just a garbage bag. Got some vaccine here. They're talking about vaccines and how long that's going to take. And we put this on top, and I'll overlap a bit here. And I put one here. Put a little glue under. And just one more. Am I okay? I'll put that right in the middle. All right. That counts as a section. Now I need to let it dry, otherwise I can't fold it. It's going outside the boundaries of the book. That's okay. Actually kind of like that. I'm gonna nail it down a little bit more with some glue. And I might play with some other things on top of here. I have a bottle of hand sanitizer that I got long before any of this happened. So I might take the label off and put it in there. But this is my first theme, is just kind of my first impression of what's going on with this whole thing. So you don't have to do this. Hopefully you come up with your own first impressions. There's a list at artedguru.com under the learning plans that I have up on the website for distance learning. So if you look there and find, well, there'll be a link in the video that you can use. All right, so do your own thing, make it personal, make it expressive, and we'll see you again next time. Make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you get updates when I upload a new video. Thanks very much.